Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on in the world of agriculture. You thought about the sort of lettuce, but the global economy is all about commodities, and agriculture is part of what is the big story around Nigeria. A lot focused on Anchor Borrowers Program and a few other areas that the financial regulator, the Ministry of Agriculture, and others are working on. But agri-education and learning is part of the process, and so we need to get folks who are in blue collar, white collar guys in onto the farms, get everyone to understand. And for those who are on the farms, get them into classrooms and get everyone to be part of the value chain. These two gentlemen from corporate farmers have been moving around. Some of the Nigerian universities are trying to promote what you call agri-education. But that's across there. But now they're still on, but they're also on your market street. They've got some relationship with the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and now they just inked a new one with the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. Ade Ajayi, who is a co-founder and a partner at Corporate Farmers Limited, is to my immediate left, and to my far left is what's his name again? Akin Alabi is also is the managing partner at Corporate Farmers Limited. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming.
Thank you so much, Bosin. Thank you.
Sometimes I feel I know both of you too well.
No, it's all right.
That's nice.
But you never know folks too well anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Akin, let's start with you. In terms of the, we see what you guys do at the universities, going around, and sometimes on the farms with those students, and looking at what young Nigerians and like yourself are trying to do as entrepreneurs, and trying to hit the ground running, get something done on a little scale, expand it nationally within the bigger discourse. So we think it's time to at least showcase some of you what you're doing there that are very also heavy, and how impactful this could be on the long run for Nigeria's drive towards impactful agriculture. So we'll talk about the universities and what those experiences have been as you move around the country. But first, talk about the marketplace. The SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission's license commodities exchanges, and this is bringing agriculture from the farms to Broad Street. That's what it is all about.
Yes, definitely. Now, the objective for us is actually to disrupt the agri sector, by involving the young agripreneurs, importantly, and also let Nigeria begin to see agriculture beyond farming, which is critical at this point in time. And also ensure that, what are the private sectors? They have interest to build the agri sector. So that's why for us as corporate farmers, we are determined to ensure that, the likes of SEC, the NSC, are more in conjunction into the business of agriculture, which is very, very important and paramount for us as corporate farmers. So that is one of our major objectives and goals. And we thank God today that we've done quite well, and we've achieved, making agriculture more glamorous, more attractive, and more investable, into the sector globally.
Yeah, I see that what you folks are doing, and the commodity exchange. So, in terms of what Akin, and I'm still speaking to this partnership with the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. This is a professional body involved in training stockbrokers. Why do you think, do the CIS think that this partnership is very important in terms of taking agriculture beyond the farm, but also into what you call professional course program?
Yes. One of our reasons is to close the gap. It's called the agricultural gap, which we want to close. Today, we find that most of our agripreneurs are left behind, basically in that professional field. And thank God for CIS that actually understood where we're coming from. We met with them, we discussed it with them, and understand where Nigeria is going to end up in the next couple of years, and it's agriculture. But how do we now begin to bring in these young agripreneurs to become professional in the field of agribusiness? And it is. So CIS now partner with Corporate Farmers International, and also to ensure that, these students begin to see or practice agriculture on a global scale. Professionalism is included. So that's why CIS is in bed with us now. And thank God for the partnership, which is going to go cut across the entire state of Nigeria, bringing young agripreneurs to become professionals, not only in agriculture, extension to commodity exchange, and also ensure that professionalism comes to agriculture. So whatever course you're studying inside agriculture, you are a professional with CIS. So that is why we're happy about it, we're excited about this, and it's more or less like a glory to the entire students studying agriculture today in Nigeria.
Let me ask Ade Ajayi about this, and don't talk about the numbers. We don't want to know how much is involved. But I know this is something the CIS would have thought about, because I'm sure the CIS, that's the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers,
Yes.
are also involved in the new commodity exchange, which is being licensed and which they're working on to get into up and running pretty soon.
You know, when we look at, you know, the CIS is an institution that we just believe that they have the legal right to really, you know, train people in the area of commodity. You know, when we talk about the commodity, you know, the derivatives and every other things, you know, these are the organization and institution empowered by Nigerian law to really train people on the commodities. And our partnership with them is, you know, is going to be a very mind-blowing thing in Nigeria, not, you know, for the students alone, even to corporate organization, because in corporate farmers, we understand the language of the corporate organization and corporate individuals. And that's why majority of what we are doing is nation building. You know, let us thank God for what is happening in Nigeria today. The agriculture sector is growing, and we are, you know, try to encourage people and let them understand what we call under the 7 pillars of agriculture and corporate farmers, that agric education is very, very important, because what you don't know is a problem. But when information comes to you, it transforms that business, it transforms your life, it transforms your, you know, your pocket and your bank account. And you can see what is happening in agric space today. So the partnership will now make the Nigerian corporate organization, corporate individual, coupled with what we are doing across university. You know, we are the first in the history of Nigeria.
You folks hardly let me rest with your social media postings when it comes to.
Thank you so much.
Where are you coming from right now, Ade?
You know, I'm just coming from a Kogi state with nothing less than 10,000, you know, palm trees that we have planted for this year. These commodities, you know what is happening with CBN in the area of like 500 million, you know, naira, you know, $500 million importing, you know, as an FX for palm oil alone. So we are bridging this gap, taking this advocacy to let people like you also, Bosin, to have a large scale of what we call, you know, palm trees, you know, and continue to, you know, because if you see a lot of people that we have, you know, that this institution that we are working with, you know, a very investor that we are working with has blessed in Kogi State. It's amazing. We are talking about a technology transfer, you know, education, you know, making sure that these people really understand what, and we are now bringing it like, look, we can satisfy you as you know, a broadcaster in through, you know, like CIS, to be a chartered, you know, commodity traders. So that because what we call the valuation is high. You know, because majority of people always thinking of agric in the area of primary productions. That's a very big mistake. But with this, we are taking this thing to corporate organizations, even churches, mosques, and every other. If you see a lot of people after this, you know, after this signing of this partnership from the Northwest, already taking it over, we are taking it and making sure that we added value and make Nigeria better.
This agric evangelism, as far as it's concerned with the universities, that's where you folks get all this Twitter all over. You're going through universities. How many universities have you folks done?
We've covered about 9. We've covered 9 several universities.
Up to the north?
Yeah, up to the north. Yeah. By end of this year, we should be going to Adekunle Ajayi University. That's in November. Which we're going to wrap up that in 2019.
Your calendar?
Yeah, for our calendar. And by 2020, we commence again with over 20 different institutions. So this is an evangelism.
So what you see when you talk to students in the universities and you try to educate them from what's the sentiment for these students, not just in the Southwest, but up to the North, where you've been to 1 or 2 universities. Bayero universities, where have you been in the North?
For now, we've gone to Kebbi.
Kebbi, yes.
Yeah, we've gone to Kebbi.
Yes, Kebbi, yes.
Yeah. You see, one thing we observe is this. Now, there's what we call limited mindset about agriculture. To them, they still believe it's all about farming. So when we get there, we expose their mind into the entire value chain of agribusiness. And thank God for this CIS. Yes. So it's a beauty on its own entirely. So letting them see that they can also become professional in the field of agriculture is a plus to them. And we've told about several schools that this is going to be mind-blowing. And even up to the north, they are really excited to plug into this ASAP, because every agric student can now call yourself a chartered or certified commodity trader and can trade commodities anywhere in Nigeria up to anywhere in the world.
Okay, I'm sure we're going to have more time in the
Oh,
future
yeah.
talking about what you folks are doing.
Thank you
But
so
it's very amazing to see how you move from, I've seen some of your images in cassava farms
Oh,
and
yeah.
all of that, getting your hands dirty.
Oh,
then I
yes.
see you in the university auditorium.
yes.
Then I suddenly saw you on Broad Street
Oh, yeah.
with the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. And I said,
Stockbrokers.
how do you successfully do it from farm to the city?
Well, we don't rest.
Thank you.
We just need to give back.
Thank you. Thank you,
you,
Adi
sir.
Ajayi,
Thank you, sir.
who is a co-founder
Thank you, sir.
and partner
Nice
at
to meet you.
Corporate Farmers and Akela. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
managing
Boss.
partner
We appreciate it.
at Corporate Farmers
Really appreciate
Limited.